This part's going to be a little noisy here as it gets started, but you can see Adam backing up under an auger. And this building here is what we call our feed grinder house. It's connected via augers to grain bins that hold corn. That corn is ground up and minerals added, and you're going to see Adam actually adding that corn, and then the rope that he's pulling on there, that actually lets down the tube that's going to let him put molasses in. And again, he's watching the scale on his truck so that he knows how much he's going to put into the mixture. This is a picture of our mixer feeder wagon, our regular hay pile. I have my cousin Adam in our tractor, and he has alfalfa in his scoop. And on the outskirts you will also see the silage pile that's underneath the plastic, and you see the hay bales. Adam's putting that in the mixer wagon along with corn, some cornmeal, silage, hay, and alfalfa is what goes into the mixer wagon. After those sit and mix with the protein too, the liquid protein, after they sit and mix, he will take and he'll feed that into the calf bunks. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what happens inside the feed truck. First of all, off to the left here, we have a couple of knobs that are running our power take-off. What the power take-off does is help to run the mixers inside where we put the grain so that the hay and the corn and the protein can all mix. As you come over here, you have the scale. The scale shows you how much we have in the truck. Right now we have roughly 1,510 pounds of corn and cornmeal and protein, which is like a molasses. My dad is using the tractor and he is going to add silage, so you'll watch the scale go up in weight. And again, we're running the power takeoff, and that started with one of these buttons down here where it says, where it says PTO, that's power takeoff. And that turns the mixer on inside the feed wagon. And these other buttons are what runs the spout where the grain comes out of when I go to the grain bunks. And these are the lights so that if it's dark out at night, we can also see the bunks and not run into them when we're feeding. This is a close-up of the silage that we feed the calves. This is harvested in the fall, and basically what silage is it's a corn plant with the seed, the kernel, as you see right here. This is a kernel that's from the plant, and this is the green leaves here that have dried and they're fermented, and that is just a process that it goes through as the heat gets into it and it's kept moist in the pit. So silage is stored underneath the plastic to help keep that heat and keep it safe with everything in the pit. And as you see over in the edge there, you can see how deep that pit is. It's taller than I am. It actually ends up being close to about 20 feet tall at the back of the pit at our farm. And that can vary in each farm. This is some of the cornmeal that we use to put into the feed. Now the cornmeal is actually derived from what is left over after they produce ethanol. It's just a finely ground particles of the leftover corn. We put that into the feed along with, again, the alfalfa, the regular hay, the silage, and actually some blended corn kernels. And here's a close-up of the alfalfa. One of the things that you learn is alfalfa hay is a much thicker, has higher protein content in it than regular hay does. When producers mix hay and alfalfa for their livestock, they have to make sure that they have a good nutritional ration, because otherwise too much of the wrong nutrients can actually make the cow's stomach sick or cause them to founder, which gives them bad feet. So you have to be very careful of how much corn and hay and alfalfa that you give them at one time, and that their stomachs adjust to it slowly. We'll move on to the hay, and you'll see that the hay, this is our hay pile as we come around it. The hay is much finer, and this again is just regular grass hay that you find in like road ditches, a mixture of crested wheatgrass, brome grass. Here you can see a crested wheat head with that. So that's actually what the plant's going to look like out in the field before it's harvested. And you get the fine hay particles here. Now this is more of a filler with it. There's not as much nutrition in regular hay as there's going to be in the alfalfa. And that's why you add the alfalfa and the silage and the cornmeal to it. And use a feed truck to actually feed the calves. See the feed coming out of the truck. Calves get very in tune with the time of day that you're feeding them. So it's important when you're feeding them that you do it consistently every day. So in the morning, we generally feed about 8:30. In the evening, we start feeding at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have enough feed in there all day that they can continue to eat when they're hungry. On the other side, you see the heifers are lined up at the bunk waiting. They're hungry too. Our heifers have a lighter diet with not as much of the corn in it, because we don't want the heifers to get fat. We want them to be able to have baby calves at some point in time, and if they get too fat, they will not be able to reproduce.